Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we're going to be featuring battler from Australia, Bamboozled. They first off wanted me to shout out the Beast the Pogo's Discord, and then the Baldwin Pogo Raids Messenger group. This is someone that has hit Legend 2 seasons in a row. Hit Expert 2 seasons in a row, I should say. Hasn't hit Legend before. Feels like they're always improving, and they wanted me to watch their battles and give some analysis on what they can do to be able to close that gap from being a consistent expert to a consistent Legend trainer. These battles are from maybe like a week and a half ago, because I've been putting off this project a little bit because I've been really busy. But I want to take some time, similar to what I've done with the Doombug video and like what it takes to be a legend video. I want to first break down the team and be really detailed in the battles. So the team that they are running is Drapion. This is in the Great League, Open Great League. Drapion with Poison Sting, Crunch, and Sludge Bomb. Mandibuzz with Snarl, Foul Play, and Aerial Ace, and then Trevenant with Shadow Claw, Seed Bomb, and Shadow Ball. So if we take a look, the coverage is quite low, right? Because we have like two dark types already, right? So obviously they're not going to be tremendous coverage, and like not like I mean, like they don't really necessarily complement each other the greatest. The bulk is B, mostly because of Mandibuzz. Safety is B. I think Mandibuzz or Trevenant are like okay safe switches. They're not amazing because they can be easily countered, but they're okay. And the consistency is A, mostly because like there's not a ton of baiting with this team. If we look at the potential threats here, we see Altaria does pretty well against this entire team. Scrafty would also be another one that can be really tricky to deal with. I think like especially since we have Snarl, Mandibuzz, Dugong not too common, Snowy Castle not too common, Zweilous not too common, Pidgeot like it shows up somewhat, can be tricky but should still be manageable. So like not the most balanced team, but certainly one that you could play around with. So let's go ahead and get started with these battles here. Again, we're gonna play it at normal speed, and then we're just gonna break down each of these matches. So obviously, the one of the biggest threats, the first set we saw was Altaria, and Altaria is a very common lead. So first thing we want to do is understand this is a huge weakness on the team. Like, how are the matches for each of the Pokemon? So you can see Drapion loses all shield, even shield. It's very unlikely that they would Moonblast in the lead, so we can probably eliminate that scenario here. So likely you'd be able to land 2 crunches, and that's probably good enough. Land 2 crunches, and that like you could play the one, but it's more likely that they would probably not shield, depending on how much they want to win switch here. And as well, this team match actually like double week to GFist. I'm actually not sure why GFist didn't come up on the threat list, but let's go ahead and get started and see how they want to play it. So obviously, this is one of the Pokemon that is especially difficult for them to deal with. They're gonna go up to. I'm not. I guess they're trying to sneak an extra poison thing through. Honestly, I'd play the Zero Shield here, and you do want to potentially get some debuffs off earlier rather than later, but trying to sneak a move in is not a bad idea anyways. And as well, they looks like they can get to potentially okay, they actually end up switching into Vigoroth. I'm not entirely sure why they're not switching here. Okay, they're gonna try to catch, which is a really nice catch there. But honestly, they would throw the body slam anyways. And I guess they wanted to build up energy against the counter damage rather than Dragon Breath. Um, this is a quite an awkward matchup. They do get an extra Shadow Claw, which is really nice. So they are going for the extra move, which I really like on their part, and they do get the deny. So they're one away from another body slam. I see these body slams and counters are really adding up versus the Trevenant, and as well the Shadow Claws don't do any damage there. So interesting. The opponent is going one over and then throwing. So probably gonna no shield this. And let's see how they want to play this. Okay, gonna throw here. Honestly, I think they could have farmed a little bit more, but I don't think this Seed Bomb KOs. So they might be able to Shadow Claw down, which is obviously uh, what. Okay, it does KO. So they definitely could have farmed a little bit more. And if they would have farmed a little bit more, then they would have got to the Shadow Ball there and would have got the shield back. And then as well, the Altaria would have a little bit lower. So let's actually just backtrack a little bit here. So they really good job. So they caught the move, which I really liked. And we'll just fast forward through these parts here. So they caught the move, which is fantastic. And then here they went for the extra, which I really liked. But then here it should be pretty clear what the energy's at. So they're one ahead. And then they throw here, basically one before they make it to another body slam. And then the bigger off actually does one extra. Not entirely sure why, but that's fine. But here, because they didn't get extra counter through, they could have did like four more and then through, or at least even do three more. But then they elected to do one more. Maybe they're worried about the counter damage there, but by not consistently counting, maintaining that like energy management, it actually like it seems like really innocent here, but you can see these dragon breaths do a significant amount more damage, and they actually end up missing out on even the seed bomb to at least threaten the shield. If they would have definitely did four more, then they would have definitely got off two more shadow claws and got to the seed bomb before getting dragon breath down, and then they would be in like an okay position here. So here, I think it's clear you come Drapion into it. Yeah, yep, that's good. You come Drapion into the Altaria. One, you don't want to show off your third Pokemon if you don't have to, and then two, if they're comfortable switching into Vigoroth, they must have something else weak to fighting in the back. Maybe like it might be like a Lickitung, it might be like or maybe even a Medicham, um, or it might be even a Gfis. It's hard to say. And they actually switch out there, which I like. I think that's the appropriate play. Um, they end up shielding this in fear of it being a Moonblast. Ends up being a Sky Attack. So ideally earlier on, so like for example, I think it's fine here. I think they realized that they couldn't make it, but if you could identify sooner that you're not going to make it, then it's better to switch out sooner because you're gonna have to face Mandibuzz into Altaria anyways, and rather than giving them a bunch of energy here. So unfortunately, the foul play does not KO. They try to go for the extra, realizing the foul play doesn't KO. So I like that play. Um, this is probably going to be a Moonblast. Yeah, they had enough energy for the Moonblast. So this puts them in a really tricky situation. Yeah, it ends up being Ferrothorn here, which is unfortunate for them. So again, something else weak to counter in the back. It ended up being like not good against Drapion. But they obviously wanted to bait out like a potential Medicham or something like that. This is probably a mirror shot here, right? Uh, it is a mirror shot here, which won't do that much damage, but attack does fall, which is very unfortunate here. They do need to catch, but they do get a bullet seed through, so they have the move right now. So you kind of have to make a decision on whether or not you want to catch right now. They are going to elect to try to catch right now. Unfortunately, the opponent elects to do another bullet seed, and then they're going to lose CMP there. But you can see, like, really the key decision was not farming more against the Vigoroth. The not switching it sooner with the Drapion is, like, not that big a deal, right? That's like you can get to legend and make those type of errors, but not farming against the Vigoroth, knowing that the counters are double resisted versus the Dragon Breath is neutral, and Dragon Breath from Altaria would likely do more than a neutral counter, anyways, if the counter was neutral. So all more reason to farm up with against the Vigoroth. So if that play would have happened, then they would have been at even shields, and I think they actually would have been able to win that game there. So as the Altair wouldn't have got enough energy, and then you probably would have been able to KO with foul play. So there's like this whole domino effect that happened because they did a really good job like up until the middle, maintaining energy, and then it kind of all went around the window once their Pokemon started getting low on health. So that's something that you need to be cognizant of. So again, this is going to be a little bit longer video. So Drapion into Stunfisk. So obviously this is going to be a bad matchup regardless, right? So um, this is actually Unova Stunfisk. But let's take a look at the how bad the matchup is, and it's probably arguably not as bad as I can't find this here. Okay. Oh, okay. Stunfisk. There you go. Let's say worst case scenario here, the mud shots. So the crunches do 30%. Obviously, sled run is resisted. So you win the 2-0. That's something that you need to know. This thing's also like pretty bad against Mandibuzz, and then Trevenant absolutely dominates this thing here. So you have to sack either the Drapion or Mandibuzz. If it's mud shot, then maybe you go to Mandibuzz. If it's or maybe you try to catch. This person does like to catch, so let's see how they want to do this. Ends up being mud shot, so I'm assuming they're gonna try to catch. Okay, or they looks like they're gonna sack. Maybe they're gonna try to catch a second one. Um, but you do expect them to have grass dancers in the back. Okay. Oh, very nice. End up getting the defense fall, but they end up electing not to throw. Um, that's okay. Um, they are at almost double thunder shock here. I think they need one more mud shot. Okay, they actually end up switching out into Skarmory. Skarmory makes a lot of sense with Unova Sunfisk because they are very weak to grass. So it's actually really good to bait this thing out here. But again, Skarmory is another Pokemon that is pretty tough for this team to deal with, right? So I'm always one of those people that like I'm confident that you can win and make it to Legend or make it to a very high rank with a number of different Pokemon. And so it's good, no shield. Gonna throw the foul play. Two foul plays probably doesn't KO, but does put it pretty low. Yeah, definitely really low. So definitely winnable switch here, and winning the switch is very important here. I like the over farm here just to throw the opponents off. I think that's really good by this trainer. They end up shielding, and this will probably be a CMP tie. You definitely shield this. Like, there's no reason not to shield this. Yeah. And I don't know if Mandoas can survive the air slashes, but this is like, I mean, if you can get the switch, then you for sure win the game. So looks like they elect. It doesn't look like you can survive the air slashes, just barely doesn't. And yeah, it's not that big a deal though. But I think you just there's no way you can farm this down here. So you gotta let this go. And then honestly, I would probably just bank a move, and then switch to Trevenant and try to farm down. They actually end up Brave Birding here. So that's a really good switch there. Okay, they actually end up switching into the Stunfisk. This is really good here. No need to throw right away. Definitely want to farm up as much as you can versus this Stunfisk, right? Everything's resisted, right? So there's no need. They obviously get to another move here, which is totally fine. Maybe you throw like 4 more and then you throw the move. Right, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, the 3's fine. The important part is that you have to have energy here. Like your other Pokemon's almost dead, right? So like you have to have energy in order to try to win this game here. And we're gonna see what they're gonna do with this Skarmory. They can definitely farm down the Skarmory. Okay, well that's okay. That's unfortunate there. Maybe you can transfer the Shadow Claw though. That's stuck in. That's exactly what they're going to try to do. They're going for the crunch here. Very nice play. I don't think they can win this game though, because like you're not going to be able to apply enough fast move pressure onto this Skarmory. Unless this Trevenant can survive an air slash. If it can survive an air slash, then maybe. Oh, it can. Oh, very very nice play. End up tying versus Skarmory. So that was really nice play at the end. I like the transfer of the Shadow Claw, which is really good. Honestly, could have threw the Shadow Ball right away. Probably just forgot how much energy the Drapion had, because honestly, they could just throw the Shadow Ball right away, switched out, and the Shadow Ball plus Crunch would definitely KO. A little bit more farm against Stunfisk would have been good. I like how they played out the Mandibuzz matchup. So I think that was a really nice play out of a very tricky situation there. All right, we're gonna have Drapion into Malamar. So let's just actually just take a look. This obviously I don't expect people to know off the top of their head, but this is a favorable matchup for Drapion, since it does resist the Psycho Cuts and it can only throw neutral superpower. But actually ends up losing the two shield if they double bait and all that stuff. So that's pretty unlikely. This is a very favorable matchup for Drapion, and we're gonna see. Um, Obviously, the only bad matchup here is against the Trevenant. Trevenant, but even Trevenant is not the worst matchup. Let's see what they do here. They're probably gonna superpower and bail, so do expect them to switch. They actually come into Pidgeot. Oh no, not Pidgeot, Noctowl here, and gonna throw the uh, two probably two crunches here, and then switch into okay. Just gonna throw the one. I think this is fine though. Pretty neutral matchup between these two. But again, you don't need that much energy to be able to beat um, to be able to beat the Malamar later on. So the tricky part here, what you want to start thinking about when you're in this type of situation, especially when you're in a longer match between Mandibuzz and Noctowl, is like potentially what's the third in the back. So they're kind of soft against fighting. Malamar does like okay against fighters. They're also like soft against charm, right? So you could see like a steel type in the back. You could see a poison type in the back. I think poison type makes a lot of sense here. Like a Needle Queen um, as a third makes a lot of sense. Let's see if they end up no shielding. Okay, ends up being a Stunfisk. Okay, which is it's okay here. Gonna do three snarls then throw. I really like that play. That way they don't give up any moves, and they're gonna be able to land the foul play before they can land the discharge, and as well throw off the counts against the opponent. But this is looking pretty good right now. Again, Trevenant has an absolutely dominating matchup versus Stunfisk, and this Stunfisk is going to farm up quite a bit before throwing. Looks like they're going to go to basically 100 energy, and you're going to let this go, and you just save shields for the Drapion versus Malamar matchup. And you go into Trevenant here. If they throw here, all the better. Um, yeah, that's all the better. The more energy they throw into Trevenant, the better. Less energy they could potentially use against Drapion later on. They actually come into okay. I don't like this play here. Letting the Malamar farm up. Um, and as well creating desyncs in the clock. This is exactly how opponent takes advantage of the situation, right? Of the switch clock is I think you just switch out right away and look to put pressure onto the Malamar. And then at this point in time, you really don't need to shield the Drapion, but um, yeah, they're gonna like to no shield, realizing if they do superpower, then which they kind of have to, and then they'll probably foul play the Trevenant here, which will definitely warrant a shield. And do foul play. Probably gonna get the switch out. Okay, they actually lucked not to switch, and this is game over here, right? There's nothing too much this Stunfisk can do, and they're gonna like to leave the match. So nice play overall. I would like to switch out a little bit faster to the Drapion, but that's quite fine as well. Okay, so obviously this is gonna be a good matchup here, right? So it ends up being Powder Snow. Um, so let's take a look here. Typically, they carry this move set here. Um, so it's a very close matchup, unfortunately, because the poison things don't do that much damage. But it looks like you can win straight Sledge Bomb. So in this case, there's no need to bait. Um, Obviously, taking consideration that they may catch. Um, and that's exactly what they're doing there. Okay, you're gonna farm up a decent amount here. I would like a little bit faster because Medicham does have access to Ice Punch, right? So and these, oh, they actually end up psyching. Okay, they actually did quite a bit of damage though. So if they don't throw at the appropriate time here, so they end up throwing the Shadow Ball. But could this Medicham shield his? Okay, they elect not to shield, and then they're gonna get farmed down here. They will make it to Seed Bomb. We'll see whether or not this Ninetales will shield. So I do like the overcharge on the Trevenant, which is really nice. They elect to no shield, so they're good counting on the opponent's side. But this is looking really good here. Honestly, you could just throw a crunch, and it would almost KO. But probably safer to throw the a sludge bomb here. Okay, gonna throw the crunch. That's just in case they try to like catch on a G-Fist or something. Um, I'm guessing it's like okay, they gonna shield this just in case it's like a gleam or something. Very unlikely. It's gonna be a weather ball. But I think that's a safe play for sure. And they get another move off. You definitely don't shield this, and then you probably farm up a little bit more before throwing. And they're definitely in crunch range at this point in time. They weren't in crunch range originally. Um, okay, they are very afraid of this thing. That's interesting. You definitely have to shield this, unfortunately. Uh, okay, yeah, they had to think about no shielding. I know this. Okay, they actually come to Zoomerl here. This sludge bomb is gonna do a pretty good amount of damage. Um, Good timing on the throw there. They really need to make it to the second sludge bomb. And then if they do, I think they're in the clear. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Well, at that point in time, they definitely should have threw the crunch. They end up like blind throwing here. They get a snarl through. They need two aerial aces to KO here. It ends up being an ice beam. This is actually really good that they need three ice beams to KO. So I think you try to get the extra in is what you focus on because you're gonna live one move anyways. They end up denying here. Um, but the thing is, like, you need energy. Okay, they actually end up throwing the play rough, which is maybe a little bit better here. They end up getting a bubble through, so they need two more for the next move. Unfortunately, you lose CMP, so this is where like the crunch would have been really clutch there, because the crunch would have the aerial ace would have KO'd there. So um, and I don't believe they're going to be able to outpace this Ninetales there. So they're going to end up farming down. But if they would have been able to recognize that they were not going to be able to survive, like you can't get another move off and survive that bubble. So then they should have threw the crunch or switched out sooner into the Mandibuzz, right? Not give the Zoomerl as much energy, and then I think they actually would have won the game. Okay, so this is a let's just go over this matchup. Um, I this should typically be a good matchup here, right? The actually Drapion actually ends up losing. Oh, that's because I don't have crunch here. Okay, Drapion, yeah, Drapion wins this matchup pretty handily, so there shouldn't be any too much concern here. Besides the lag there, which is not great. Um, Looks like they're trying to get to two. I don't think it matters too much if you shield this or not. Ends up being a surf bait, which is fine. Uh, they do get now they're three shadow claws ahead, so they do have the wild charge for sure here. Um, they elect to shield, and looking okay here though. Um, they actually end up double shielding the Mew. Can definitely live a wild charge. Um, and then I think it would be very. They actually end up surfing here. They'll probably double surf here. Um, Probably not worth it to shield. They did miss a bunch of fast moves, which is really unfortunate. I definitely come Trevin in here. as opposed to Mandibus, because typically they carry Wild Charge. So now they have some lag here. Wild Charge and Surf. I'm gonna let this go. Oh, they have Rock Slide here. Okay, interesting. Interesting move there. I guess maybe they ran out of TMs, or maybe they just prefer Rock Slide. Okay, we're gonna see what's coming in. Skarmory. Okay, this is good. If this is the Asian Milkman team, then we do expect that there's a scrap. I guess Scrafty in the back is actually pretty bad here. Um, but maintaining this shield advantage is really important here. You want to put this low enough that you can Shadow Claw it down afterwards. But this is going to be a tricky situation here. Okay. You let this go for sure. Let's say Brave Bird here. This will not KO. But they probably have a double Sky Attack here. So you probably have to switch here and hope that you can Shadow Claw down. Like they elect to try to farm down the Mandibus. Okay. I like okay. Oh, they actually have Swampert in the back. I guess that's really good here. Gonna throw right away. Just because they definitely don't have two Sky Attacks. Bank because obviously they threw one here. So I like the throwing right away. Don't put any pressure on them. Alternatively, you could have doubled up on on the C bomb, because C bomb would have KO'd the Skarmory for sure. That health, but that's also a very safe play. So, well done there. I think coming Trevenant would have been a little bit better into the Mew. But I think regardless, they played that pretty decently. Okay, so Dugong. Let's take a look at this matchup. So obviously, Dugong does debuff, right? And Dugong is like okay against the backline. Obviously very good against Mandibus, and Trevenant's like kind of iffy matchup. So this is again another Pokemon that is very tricky to deal with for this team. Um, okay, they lagged at the beginning, which is unfortunate because typically you want to do 7 then throw, and looks like they're accounting for the lag and throwing at 6. And they actually end up electing not to shield the crunch there. Interesting. I guess because they win the 0. Not that I expect the opponent would know that for sure. They might throw it 4 or 6. So let's see what they want to do here. It looks like they're gonna throw. Okay, I don't like the timing of that throw there, because they end up just giving two turns away, throwing at 5, and letting the Dugong get an extra. Okay, it looks like this Dugong's interested in trying to farm down, which is actually honestly like pretty bad here. I think you have to go after this. Yeah, they're gonna go, which is a really nice play here. Um, you shield once. They'll likely make it to 2 before you can Shadow Claw down, especially you're debuffed here. But if you can get to this, okay. Okay, gonna double shield here and then farm all the way down. This Trevenant is very debuffed right now, so okay, they actually come into Superior here. Okay, this is actually okay. We'll see whether or not they have Aerial Ace or not. They have, I guess, 2 moves KO anyways, right? So whether they actually leave Tornado, that's actually, oh my gosh, that's actually really terrible. They definitely should have thrown the Shadow Ball before the Leaf Tornado. Now this Shadow Ball is going to do pretty much 0 damage here. But I think you can take a Leaf Tornado. Okay, looks like they might go for a Frenzy Plant here. And honestly, this Frenzy Plant might KO. Oh, they Leaf Tornado? Okay. You definitely switch here into Mandibus. This is really good here. Hopefully you don't get Leaf Tornado. Or hopefully you don't get debuffed. For sure gonna get Leaf Tornado. And okay, no debuff there. It's really good here. And I'm gonna throw right before they make it to another one. This Aerial Ace does do super effective damage onto the superior. Very odd plays by the opponent. I'm not gonna lie. And then here comes the dugong. Honestly, you could probably farm down this dugong. Looks like that's what they're electing to do. It should be able to survive an icy wind. It's unfortunate that they survive with like 2 HP, maybe 1 HP. Gonna throw the icy wind, but the clock is almost up here, and gonna throw the foul play. I think that's actually the incorrect move because it's neutral and the aerial ace is super effective. But you have tons of energy on Trevenant, right? This is nothing to worry about here, and I don't. Well, I think this is okay. I personally don't like the bait here, but and I think they should have switched out sooner, and then gonna be able to reach the shadow ball here and take it out. Um, Very nicely done. So the fortunate part is that the dugong is really bad for the team, but the backline is usually their backline is usually weak to that backline. So Metacham is pretty common. Okay, so Skarmory, let's pause it again and take a look at the. Oh my gosh, they elect to switch here. Okay, um, okay, so Skarmory is obviously a really bad leader. So they obviously have double water here, right? There's no doubt about it, right? And probably gonna try to catch. Um, Probably take this weather ball here. Looks like my video is lagging for some reason. Um, okay, they actually go Mandibuzz here, which I like that play. Um, the problem is like, how do you beat this Skarmory here? Um, Blizzard on a safe switch Polytoad makes a lot of sense, especially when you're trying to bait out the grass type. But okay, they're gonna elect to no shield. They throw the weather ball. And they're gonna elect to no shield again. They're throwing another weather ball here. I'm not even sure they're going up to the Blizzard or these are. Well, I wasn't keep track of the counts. I guess they're at a. Okay, so they come to Skarmory. Honestly, you just stay. You just stay in this matchup, right? Like, um, there's really no reason to switch out of this matchup, and yeah, you just stay. This is the ideal matchup that you want. This is definitely a sky attack. If you can get off 2 foul plays, if you can only get off the 1 foul play, then I think you throw the 1 foul play then switch. Okay, okay. I don't like that play. I don't like that play. I think they need to throw the. But maybe I guess 2 crunches would do the same here. And this Drapion is a little bit less useful than the Mandibuzz, but I would have preferred because now this Drapion's pretty much dry. They actually end up shielding here. Interesting. This is kind of difficult mind games here because they shielded. Um, if it ends up being like okay, they actually end up okay, that's fine. You just let it go, and then you just farm down with Trevenant. This probably doesn't KO, which is very unfortunate here. That's fine. You go immediately into Trevenant. Um, okay, I don't like the waiting clock here, just because like that gives like your clock is up and their clock is not, so it just gives them more time to potentially switch here and like catch moves later and all that stuff, right? So, um, I prefer them just to go right away and give them as little clock as possible because now they have the maximum flexibility here. Though if they have a Swampert in the back, they're probably just gonna come Skarmory and you just Shadow Claw it down. But let's see what's in the back. Yeah, you just Shadow Claw it down, right? Okay, gonna throw the Seed Bomb here, just in case. And they elect to shield here. Gonna combo play. I think that's okay. Honestly, I would prefer the shield and Shadow Claw down. Because like if something can farm here, okay, it ends up being a Swampert, so this is not that big a deal. Um, this Swampert needs to like basically play perfectly in order to try to win the game here. Because they need to. I guess they can go. Okay, so what they need to do is okay. They need to undercharge this Hydro because they're for sure not going to shield, and then farm down. I don't think you can undercharge this. And then okay, they do try to undercharge here, and then they need to farm down and then come out with 100 energy. It doesn't matter if they hit the with a foul play or not, just because like um, you're not too worried about getting fast move down, though it's definitely a possibility. And the clock is like, oh, well, it's definitely okay. Okay, they throw both hydros here. Okay, they do get a shadow claw through, so this is likely game over. Um, I guess you sludge wave here. Okay. I show Hydro again, but the clock is going to be up. Yeah, that shot claw. The opponent played very nicely at the end there. But I would have preferred if they. So let's actually analyze this matchup here. I would have preferred. So in this type of scenario here, um, it's just too risky here. Especially the Trevenant was quite low. It's too risky here to switch out, in my opinion. Because then if it ends up being like, I don't know, let's say it's like a Lapras or something, right? That can like farm down or Frostlass or something, right? That can farm down the Mandibuzz and take a move, then you would have been in a much worse situation because the Trevenant was also quite low and didn't have a move. So it ended up being a Swamper. So it ended up being okay. But ended up being a little bit scary at the end there. So but let's look at this matchup here between this is definitely a favorable matchup for okay this is a favorable matchup for Drapion. Like they can win down a shield or whatever, right? So they actually come into Umbreon. They try to catch there, which is definitely a nice attempt. Unfortunately for the opponent, there's triple defense Deoxys counters here, so like you really just look to um, let this go, right? Probably like GFIS in the back. Um, but you should be in a really good spot right now. Ideally, you want to win Switch, um, which you have the energy to be able to win Switch here. Though this last resort does almost KO, right? So they're gonna elect to shield. It probably doesn't KO, but I don't think the Sludge Bomb KOs either. And I'm gonna go to 100 energy here and throw this Sludge Bomb. They actually end up shielding here. Um, I think after this, you don't need to shield. So if they end up shielding and they get off this last resort, that's totally fine. Um, they actually come back into Deoxys and they're gonna maybe look to farm down, throw for the crunch. It's totally fine though. You just let this go. If it's Psycho Boost, then it ends up being a Thunderbolt. You go into interesting Commanda Buzz here. And oh, okay, this is interesting. Okay, I thought that was gonna be a lick of tongue there. Okay, they just switched very quickly into the normal type. Honestly, I don't think there was a reason to switch it so quickly there, but ended up being okay. Um, okay, so Needle Queen matchup. This is a tricky matchup with yeah, tricky matchup, but a little bit like bait dependent. Like if they straight Earth Power, um, then you can win. If you don't fall for the baits, then there's definitely a possibility to win. So um, let's go ahead and get started here and see how this is gonna play out. Um, both your Pokemon back are pretty neutral. Like basically your entire team is pretty neutral here. Um, prefer to throw the crunch beforehand because then you can like you're not so like don't definitely don't need to shield. But let's see here. They also might try to catch because double dark is pretty common with this team, and if it is double dark, then this is really okay. Ends up being a Lapras, which is also very problematic here. Um, and gonna throw a crunch. Shadow Lapras. This is a pretty interesting Pokemon. Okay, try to catch the surf here. I like this play though, right? Just because like there's very little chance that they have Ice Beam, because they would have the lead TM in, and two, Ice Beam is not preferred in the Great League. Um, and I'm gonna throw here. It looks like they're gonna try to farm down, so they try to CMP tie with this Lapras, but the Lapras is electing to farm down. And that was a nice play by the Lapras because they were able to sneak a move in. I think you have a crunch. All right, so you probably want to throw the crunch. Okay, for some reason they couldn't. Okay, that's very unfortunate there. It's a very unfortunate. Yeah, that's really unfortunate there. Okay, okay, the opponent ended up lagging, so I guess that's good compensation. They lag for 2 turns, and unless they get invisible ice shard here. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I guess you got a free move in, right? So, I guess it worked out to be about the same because the Lapras end up shielding. You got to switch here. I really like this play here. It's obviously a very weird switch to do, but you have to, and you have to farm down. You definitely farm down here. They make it to a surf, which is gonna do probably put the Mandibus like around half, definitely above half. Um, and we're gonna see a farm down here, which is what you exactly need, and able to farm down. Really nice play here. And then gonna throw the foul play, and then I think you try to farm down this Needle Queen. You definitely can't throw, right? Because if you throw, you'll have no energy. So okay, they actually come into Lickitung here. Okay, this is extremely bad here because this body slam won't KO, but they can definitely lick down, and Lickitung is super tanky here, and this is quite bad here. If they would have been able to catch that body slam, even then, probably not, right? So, yeah, he did like 4 bell plays here to KO. There's actually a pretty good matchup for Mandibuzz when they're both at full health, but not when Mandibuzz is at like 25% health. Um, yeah, there's just no way here. This is a good fight, and I think they played pretty decently here. Um, a little bit unfortunate on the lag. Okay, gonna try to. I don't know what they're trying to do there. I guess catch a body slam. But the point is just gonna lick down, right? So, um, or throw the body slam doesn't really matter here. Throwing the body slam makes a lot of sense. Um, though they would lose because the one poison jab would come into play before the snarl. So okay, but nice set there. Or and I don't know how many more battles we have here, but I think this will be the last battle that I'll talk about. I think this player is playing very well overall. Just like a few things around energy management and like optimizing the play, but they obviously know their counts. So GFIS here is obviously really bad here, right? I think you come Mandibus here. Okay, gonna look to okay, maybe look to catch the EQ. I think that's what they're electing to do. Okay, they're gonna CMP tie on the EQ, and maybe you sack the Drapion. Um, okay, you just let it go. Okay, they're gonna shield here. Okay, oh, man, that would have been a nice thing to let go, but um, okay, they're gonna CMP tie here. Um, I find it very unlikely that they'll bait a second time, right? So personally, I think now you shield Yeah, and then they'll definitely not bait here, right? They'll definitely not bait here, and then you throw the crunch, and then you catch the next earthquake onto Mandibus. Okay, this is nice here, and I guess I need two more, right? Uh, which I guess they'll end up winning the CMP tie here. Okay, this is actually okay too, because now you can farm down with Trevenant, and this Drapion actually did pretty well then. So this is gonna be a CMP tie. Very nice, very nicely done there. Actually, like not a bad scenario there. Um, keeping the Drapion alive would have been nice, but that's okay too. And it should be able to Shadow Claw down. Looks like they okay. You just ball this thing, and this is looking pretty okay. To be honest, I think you just um, they likely have Venusaur in the back or Sableye, so I think you just sack this. Yeah, this Weather Ball won't KO. I like the no panic there, right? Because the G-Fist is like almost dead, so it's not a huge threat to the Mandibus. If it gets a Rock Slide off, that sucks, but it's not a huge threat. And we're gonna see what's in the back. They actually, oh, okay. I don't like that play there, but maybe they're weaker to um, um, Trevenant. I'm guessing it's a Venusaur. At this point in time, you should just farm down. That way you have energy. So this is a really nice play here. This is a really nice play. I don't like the switch out in general there, but it ends up being a Venusaur. So gonna throw two aerial aces, which hopefully KOs the Venusaur, but maybe not. It does. Okay, should be enough. Okay. I don't like this play here. I really don't like that play there. I'm not entirely sure why they did that. I think they're okay because they're gonna win CMP. Don't seed bomb here. Don't seed bomb. Don't seed bomb. Don't seed bomb. Okay, okay. This game just went okay. Um, okay. Uh, okay. Well, that, okay. I was very complimentary. Okay. Anyways, overall, I think this trainer is going to reach legend this season. There are a few things that they need to work on. Like there was no reason to overfarm there because the Stunfisk was basically dead there, and there was no reason to throw the seed bomb there because it definitely wasn't gonna KO. And they went to 6th, then threw the seed bomb. Like if seed bomb doesn't, you're Trevor didn't win CMP over Venusaur unless Venusaur has like really bad PvP IVs. Has really attack weighted, so Venusaur is gonna lose CMP to Trevenant. So if at 6 and they get a Vine Whip through, then you might end up losing the game. So some like weird win cons there, but their counting is really good. Overall, their timing when they throw is really good. Their anticipation game planning versus certain leads and scenarios is pretty decent. I don't think this team is that great, to be honest. I think there was definitely a lot of really tricky plays. So I think if they come with a stronger team, they would have like a little bit more consistent performance and wouldn't need to like pull these like rabbits out of the hat to try to win some of the games. So, but overall, this trainer is definitely on their way to legend, and I look forward to seeing them come back to this video and say that they hit legend in season 10. So, if you want to see more of these type of videos, or if you want to see your battles get really breaking down into detail, you can go ahead and submit on the forum or DM me on Twitter, Discord, wherever, and happy to take a look at it. I can't do everybody, obviously, but anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. If you like to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.